Hello everybody, it's Tony here again with the next instalment of the astrological signs. The next sign is the seventh sign of the zodiac and the second air sign, which is Libra. Now, I know Libra very well because number one, I have loads of Libran friends, lots of them, quite close friends as well. And number two, I am Libran myself, so I do know a lot about them. One thing for Librans is that people seem to think that they're very lazy and they don't make their mind up easily. No, they don't make their mind up easily because they weigh the pros and cons of every situation before they will make a commitment or will give an answer, and in order to be cognizant of all facts, both for and against the issue. And they don't tend to take sides, but they might gloss over things in order to keep the peace, as it were. And that's what Librans do like peace. They don't like a lot of commotion in their lives, even though they're very airy-fairy, or people say that they're very airy-fairy. It's the fact that they're more thinkers more than anything. They think a lot. With some of us, we overthink things and we get panicky and everything. So Libra is the seventh sign, September 23rd to October 22nd. The element is air, quality cardinal, ruler Venus, symbol the scales. Mode, thought, sensation, motto, I weigh. Now, apparently, the sensation, Librans do tend to like being sensual a lot. They're more sensual than sexual. A lot of people are very sexual. No, bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. But Librans are more into the cuddling and hugging and kissing and things, and which is quite lovely, I think. But they do like their hugs. So as I said, it's the second zodiac air sign after Gemini, and the second sign to be ruled by Venus after Taurus. So Taurus and Libra both ruled by Venus. Venus, of course, as we know, is the goddess of love, but also a goddess of war and turmoil, and which is a lot to be said, because a lot of Librans are in turmoil. So the scales emphasize the need for balance in life. Weighing alternatives can go very far in Libra, sometimes resulting in a well-considered opinion, at other times in indecision and uncertainty. Of course, people tend to see that as a weakness with Librans. It can be, but at least we like to make an informed decision over things. And with Librans, if we are in the wrong, we do tend to put our hands up and say, yes, no, we were in the wrong, do apologise, and go from there. Another thing with Librans as well, if they do tend to fall out with you, they do fall out with you for the rest of their lives or rest of your life, because but it has to be something very, very, very bad in order for them to do that. Libra represents the seventh period of life, aged 42 to 49. I'm a little bit over that age. The Libra personality can be compared to the mature adult passing through midlife period and endeavouring to formulate a modus vivendi for the second half of life. Inevitably, this involves redefining social roles by reconsidering the way one relates to others. I equate Librans, and I'm going by the way I am, like a chameleon, really, that we adapt to situations quite well. We are very adept in being in any situation and dealing with it accordingly. It's like chameleons. Or another thing as well, I have said about Librans is like they're like a diamond, multifaceted, and each facet shines a light in a different way, kind of thing. And that's how Librans are. Librans are very, very good at being in situations and acting out in that situation accordingly. Whereas a lot of people can't deal with that because we people think that we chop and change. We don't. We adapt to the environment we're in at that moment. So so we're very, very good at that, and that's why a lot of people do like Librans, and is one of the best signs. Of course it is, because I'm one. But yeah, so despite the fact that Librans love things to go smoothly with few problems, they can stir up a great deal of argument through their controversial attitudes and behaviour. I've done that several times because my thoughts are my own, and a lot of people don't like that because I don't you know, follow everybody else and follow the correct path of when reading about something or someone online or whatever. I have my own ideas. I have my own thoughts on things, and I do tend to share with people about them, and well, they just don't like it because what I say is what I feel and my thoughts alone, and because it doesn't agree with them and other people around them, they just don't like it. I've been told several times by people that they secretly agree with me, but they can't say anything. They can't agree with me in public because it might offend other people. Now, I am not here to offend other people. I am here to live my life without offence, but if I see an injustice, or if I see somebody being picked on, or if I see something online that I don't like, I will voice my opinion. And it is just an opinion. It's not truth. It is an opinion. And people automatically think because I write it that I think it is the truth. It is not the truth. It doesn't have to be the truth. There's my opinion, there's your opinion, then there's the truth. And that's how it is. And that's how Librans go. Very generous. They can sometimes be blind to the wishes of others and proceed either merrily or miserably on their own way. I'm proceeding merrily on my own way, sometimes miserably, because I'm on my own and everything. So, and Librans do tend to like somebody around them to balance them. So, Librans like to see both sides of a problem, which I've already mentioned. They're capable of procrastinating, and I've been accused of that a few times myself by people. And of course, I've just said, okay, fine. And I've just got up and done what I said for weeks I was going to do. And one of those things was this channel. So, and it was another Libran that told me to stop procrastinating and do it. So here I am doing it. We demand, well, we don't demand, but we'd like adequate breathing space, and tend to get nervous if crowded or pressured. I do tend to get like that if I feel pressured to do something for somebody and they force me to do it, then I get really nervous and it doesn't work out. But other forms of pressure, i.e. like if I'm doing a dissertation or an assessment or anything like assignment or anything like that, I keep it right down to the last minute and then get it all done, and I feel as if it's the best way to do it for me personally. They're quite capable of applying pressure to others, particularly if they feel they're acting in everyone's best interest. We have, yes, I have. I must admit that I have come out with things in the past and said, oh, okay, you know. So it's not good, but you know. So because of their energy and stamina, Librans are often highly prized as mates and co-workers. However, they must beware of imposing their strong views on others. I've noticed that as I'm getting older, actually, and since I transitioned, that I'm more prone to say, right, this is what I think, and that's it, kind of thing, you know. So, and it's naughty. It is naughty. You know, so I do have strong views on things, and they do not correspond to other people's views at all most of the time. But I'm okay with that because we each have our own views. Like I said, we each have our own opinions, They're the very best, at their best when they can keep it light and have fun, particularly since depression is difficult for them to cope with. Being attractive is extremely important to Libras, but they must beware of becoming obsessed with physical appearances. Well, as you can see, that's not the case in this in this case, because if that was the case, then I would be dolled up to the nines now, and wall makeup and everything. As you can see, no makeup, nothing. As you can see, ugly. No, well, no, not ugly, but you know, I'm old. That's the word, old. I'm not saying that old people are ugly, because they're not. There's some beautiful old people out there. They're beautiful inside and outside. So, and that's with most Librans. They I actually said this to a friend of mine. Have you ever seen an ugly Libran? But no, I'm only joking about that bit. But it's their kindness and their exuberance shines through, and sometimes that can scare people off. I've noticed that a few times. I've been told that by people that they're scared of me, and which is stupid, because number one, I'm 6'4", and number two, I'm just a big baby giant, really. Do you know what I mean? So I'm a giantess, but you know, so that I wouldn't say boo to a goose. I'll stand my ground, but I wouldn't say boo to a goose. That's okay. If they go too far in this regard, they may compromise their dignity. Another high priority for Libra is fairness, but in their quest for equality, they must seek the middle way, thus avoiding the twin pitfalls of overly accepting or judgmental behaviour. Now, we can be judgmental. I have done in the past, and I've been called up about it, and especially if I'm sticking up for friends, and I feel that they're getting a bum deal, then I will be in there straight away, like the proverbial, and I will help them out as much as I can. Libra attractions is to Aquarius, Aries and Taurus. My ex-husband's a Taurus, and we still get on today, even though he's with somebody else. And I must... right, here we go. People who, Libra notables, who are born in the month of Libra, Harold Pinter, which is a writer, Deborah Kerr, as we know, Desmond Tutu, yes, Brigitte Bardot, William Faulkner, Annie Leibovitz, Ivan Pavlov. I don't know if you've heard about Pavlov's dogs, but there you go. Eleanor Roosevelt and Martina Navratilova. Now, well, there you go. And one person that was born on that I share my birthday with, which people might gasp, and your gasp might be flabbered, is Margaret Thatcher. I was born on her birthday, and so you know what I'm going to be like soon. I'll be 60 soon, so I'll be like a blue rinse and twin set and pearls with a handbag, and oh, yeah, very nice, and that's how I'm going to be. But we are individuals in our own right, and one thing that Librans don't like is getting old, or looking old, but we do tend to keep it light unless the situation does tend to ask us to be very, very on point and everything, and of course a lot of people think that Librans very wishy-washy and everything, but we're not. Like it says in the book, we do weigh up our pros and cons, and we will act accordingly, and that's how it is. But anyway, so thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Please share and like and everything, and speak to you soon. Thank you.